Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here on the wonderful Decidedly Vanilla server with me, Vanillaraccoon. Heyo! And in this episode, you guys, we're going to begin by doing a little mining session while chatting about the future of this series. But before we go ahead and do so, I'd like to share with you all one way in which I utilize shulker boxes to help make my mining experience just a little more easier. So I have 3 individual shulker boxes. One is for my minerals, so then when I gather nearly a whole stack of ores, I could just go ahead and drop them into this one. It helps clear out my inventory, so then I have a little more space to continue mining. And then right here, whatever specific blocks I'm trying to gather for my next project, I'll just go ahead and dump it into the shulker box that is called project box. And then right here we have, you've seen this before, the Vanguard's arsenal. This is where I have all my tools, so that if I come across gravel or soil blocks, then I can go ahead and grab my shovel and just mine it up, so I don't have to break it down with my fist or with a pickaxe or anything else. But also, in the event that I come across a pocket of lava, then I'll be able to have a quick access to a bucket of water. Then I can go ahead and convert the lava into obsidian, and I can then mine it up or leave it be and continue on my merry little way. But let's go ahead and begin the mining. And also real quick, one thing I like to do is I like to have an even number of torches that end with a 0 or a 5. That way then when I'm going down one long hallway, I can mine up 5. So for example, in my offhand, you can see that we have 20 torches, and I'll know that I went down, let's see, 5 times 5 is 25. So I'll know when I go down in a total of 25 blocks when that number goes down to 15. And then that's when I can begin to do some branch mining and doing the exact same thing as if I was making the main tunnel. I go down in a total of 5, and then once I've done that, I come back to the main hallway and then proceed onwards. But now let's go ahead and begin to do some mining. So when it comes to my Decidedly Vanilla Let's Play videos, I have background music now, and that is to hopefully build and set the mood of that segment or the entire video in itself. And then also I have been adjusting the level of saturation in some segments just to help set the tone. I would either turn it down or I would turn it up. So in one example where I would adjust the saturation level in terms of lowering it, if I were to be in the Nether, that is one particular place where I would lower the saturation level. But if I were to be, say, exploring a jungle or the open world, then that is where I may increase the saturation level. So why would I decrease the saturation in the Nether? Well, to help set the tone of a rather risky place, and to help set the tone of a place that is a little dark and edgy, I figured decreasing the saturation, making it a little more dark and spooky looking, would help. Whereas if I were to be wandering the overworld and I'm exploring a ocean, or I'm traversing through a forest-like area, and increasing the saturation then would help give the world a more lively look to it, then that is what I would do. But why would I be doing all of this? Well, it's to hopefully immerse you guys into the video. Instead of just using a shader pack or the mixture of a resource pack and a shader pack to produce something that looks a little more pretty than the default look like what we're experiencing right now, it's one way that I can just produce something that's different in my own opinion. But in the event that someone else has begun to do something similar to this, if not the exact same, then hopefully this is something that you guys will take an interest in. But of course, if it's something that you're not interested in seeing more of, then you're more than welcome to let me know in the comment section, but at least please explain why. And let's just go ahead and remove the rest of this gravel. So as I was saying at the beginning of this segment, I like to go down until the torch count is ending in a 0 or a 5, and considering we started off with 20 and now we're at 15, this is where I'll go ahead and run back down, and then right in between these two torches is where I'll begin to do a little branch mining. So like what I was saying, instead of using a shader pack or a mixture of a shader pack with a resource pack to complement one another and produce something pretty, hopefully this post-editing stuff that I'm going to begin doing is something that you're going to like and enjoy. But I think that's really going to do it for this little mining and chatting session. I'm going to continue now to gather up some more stone blocks, and then when I bring it back, we'll be in the Nether, and I'll show you exactly why I need all of this stone. So I'll see you guys in a moment. So here we are in the wonderful Nether, and that was complete sarcasm, by the way, peeps. But here we are in the Nether, and we're approaching a Nether Fortress that, as you may be able to tell as we get a little more closer to it, has had some work done to it. And that work has been done by none other than MrBjaydubya. And right now we're looking at the work in progress of a Wither skeleton farm. So real quick, if you're unfamiliar with how these work, I think he's actually building this off of a multitude of Wither skeleton farm designs, but essentially what will happen is Wither skeletons will spawn on this platform, and they will also spawn on the one just beneath it. And then if we stand behind the stone slab barrier that he's laid out for us, we can just go ahead, take our diamond sword that is actually named Atriox. I forgot to show that to you all in the previous segment, but it has Mending, Smite 5, Unbreaking 3, Looting 3, and Sweeping Edge 3. But if we just take this specific diamond sword with the Smite 5 and Looting 3 on it, we can just go whoop, whoop. Oh, and there's one right now. Let's see if it's gonna go ahead and give us a Wither skeleton head. Oh, there's two of them. Okay. Will you give me a Wither skeleton head? Stop moving. No, we don't got one. But in order for them to spawn more efficiently on these platforms, we have to do a little mindless work. And that mindless work, as you may be able to tell from what we see walking around the area, is laying down some slabs. Now, it does not have to be specifically stone slabs, but considering the stone slab seems to contrast the nether brick blocks fairly nicely, I thought that would be a nice touch. So let me go ahead and just begin to lay down a slab or two, and hopefully the spawn rates for the wither skeletons in our wither skeleton farm will be a little more efficient. So BRB, it's time for a bit of a progress update. And at this point now, excluding the platforms within this chamber, every single nether brick block has been slabbed. However, I think I still have to lay down a few more slabs in regards to the surrounding netherrack and the soul sand. However, I'm hoping that that's not the case, and when constructing a wither skeleton farm, all one has to do is lay down slabs on top of the Nether Fortress itself. But considering oh hey buddy, oh that's right, you're only 2 blocks tall, so you can in fact actually weasel your way through that little area. But considering the fact that I have gone through 6 fire resistance potions that are 8 minutes each, I'll let you guys do the math as to how long I've been over here. It's time for me to return to the Raccoon Sanctuary so that I can stock up on some more fire resistance potions, so that I can make my way back over here and continue to lay down a few slabs. But while we're over at the Raccoon Sanctuary, I actually want to show you guys something that I've been doing off camera there. So let me go ahead and try and make my way back over to the Raccoon Sanctuary safe and sound without dying, and I'll see you in a moment. Like a very cheap rug, I lie. We're not back at the Raccoon Sanctuary quite yet, but I just wanted to point out to you all that we do have at least a 3-wide stone bridge leading from the Nether Hub all the way to the Wither Skeleton Farm. But my question for you guys is this. Let me know in the comment section if you would like to see me establish a choo-choo system going from the Nether Hub to the Wither Skeleton Farm in a future DVLP, or if this is something that you would like to see done during a Twitch live stream, so then we can just hang out and have a friendly discussion on various things, serious or not serious. But I'm going to go ahead and continue to traverse through the Nether, and I'll see you guys in a moment. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time where we must begin to conclude this episode, but let's go ahead and take a look as to what's been going on over at the Raccoon Sanctuary. So, right off the bat, as you can tell, we have a beacon, and this entryway beacon, this beacon that is going to be sat not too far from the Arch of Titus, but right outside my house, is colored blue. So that way we can then know that this particular beacon will be giving us the speed 2 effect. And then if we continue to make our way down this little pathway here, thanks to the power of speed, we can do so a little more quickly. We have a second beacon that is the color brown. And I thought it was suiting because we had a majority of moo-moos within this animal pasture. But I think when one goes missing, the whole herd goes missing, so to speak. But this beacon will be giving us the strength 2 effect. So that way, in the event that I'm doing some work around here and I would like to defend myself when a stray skeleton or a unfriendly creeper or a privacy invading zombie were to come about, that I could just go ahead, whip out Atriox and be like, "Niz, fam." I was about to click, but then that horse just walked in front of me and I did not want to risk slicing and dicing it. But let's just go ahead and take our dear friend Ralph Macchio and let's go ahead and just prowl around the area, because I want to take this time to just mention to you all that for one, I'm truly sorry for the DVLPs not going up on their scheduled days. As some of you may know, I try to upload 2 DVLPs a week, one on Tuesday and one on Thursday, but I've recently started to work out more in regards to swimming and also to, well, weightlifting along with other dry land workouts. I've been waking up between 7 and 7:30 in the morning and going right over to the pool, doing a pretty hard swim workout, but completing it, and then coming home and then beginning work on a video or 2 for the new week. But generally the day after, what I would do is just relax, because even if my muscles may not feel weak or the lactic acid buildup isn't so much, I'll still prefer to take a day off from any type of workouts just to let my body recover. And while doing that, I may lay around a little more than I usually would. But rest assured, peeps, this is something that is just going to be happening for, I don't want to give an exact time frame, but just know that this won't be the case forever. This is just a minor adjustment to a new lifestyle, aside from focusing on taking YouTube more seriously and also becoming more becoming more productive while I do YouTube full time. I want to also begin to take life a little more serious in terms of just getting out, stopping to smell the roses when I go out, and just enjoying life while I still can. But that's going to do it for this episode, you guys. If you enjoyed it, then leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, then I highly encourage you to check out the rest of it. But don't forget to turn on notifications when subscribing, so that way you won't have to miss any future Minecraft and other gameplay videos from yours truly, Vanillaraccoon. But I'd like to wish you all a happy day, and peace out.